we're not a cult. We got cousin Lyle on the phone as well. My dad will be joining later on.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure you're all Lions fans. That's pretty cultish.
I think the 3 for 3. That's 100% on this side.
Yeah, we're kind of we're just on that edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We drink the blue Kool-Aid all the time.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's the only Honolulu blue.
Yeah, that's
right.
true. That is true.
Outside the den, inside the barn, Motor City Pride. We've been waiting long. Mic check 1 2, podcast booth tight. Been breaking down plays every Sunday night. From the den, we step to the barn, we roll. Analyzing film clips, how the story's told. Lions on the rise.
All right, welcome back, One Pride, to episode 12, going into week 12 of Outside the Den, Inside the Barn, the podcast made by us Lions fans for all of you Lions fans out there. Once again, my name is Jake. Next to me is cousin Lyle. There's my big brother Josh right there. Me and Josh's dad Steve's walking around the barn, expecting some crazy plays from him later tonight. No news on Breaking Brad yet.
No.
But we do have another special guest calling in shortly later in the program. So guys, we're just going to jump right into it. I already know the answer and how we're all doing after this past week's game. And so before we talk about the game, we are going to talk about one thing that happened in the game, and it's going to relate to our term of the week.
I pass the knowledge down to you. Break it simple, make it true. Every week we build.
All right, so your term of the week this week is going to be encroachment. So we did not see an encroachment get called in this game, but it is a penalty that when the defensive player is lined up or encroaching the line of scrimmage, they're entering into the neutral zone and they are there in the line of scrimmage. It's not a spot they're supposed to be, right? It's a neutral zone. No player is supposed to be there except for the center and the ball itself or the center's hand. In the game, Tyleek Williams, there was a play during the tush push ding where Tyleek Williams had his hand in the neutral zone. Not a thing you want to do. It's not a thing that should get called. However, while he had his hand there, one of the Eagles offensive players reached forward to try and push his hand away, causing Tyleek to pull it back, the Eagles to snap the ball, and they called a false start on the Eagles. The interesting thing about that play is, why the hell did the Eagles lineman Steen do that? Like, it made no sense. I was on the phone call with Philly Zach. I know he's celebrating this last week. Spoilers for the game recap. And he was mad about it because it's like, what are you doing? Like, just snap the ball. That's a free 5 yards. That's a first down. You continue the drive. But instead, they get pushed back 5 yards, and then they end up punting the ball. And the Lions stopped the tush push again. And it was, I don't know if it looked intentional. Honestly, I don't know what you guys thought watching it. It looked intentional.
Yeah.
By Tyleek.
I think, he obviously was lined up offsides. Yeah. And then I think that Steen was trying to figure out, okay, if somebody moves into the neutral zone and you kind of reach out and react to it and touch them, then they're going to call that encroachment. He's trying to figure out, well, what if I just kind of tap him on the hand there? Yeah. Is that going to count for that? And he was wrong, at least in this case. And whether that's the way it was supposed to be done or not, I don't know. But
it was funny though.
It helped us, so I was all good for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't the only time they stopped it either. Yeah. So, but
we'll talk about that.
Yeah. I think there was some head games going on in that game to a degree. So.
Yeah, but once again, encroachment's your term of the week when you are encroaching into the neutral zone before the ball is snapped when you're on defense, which once again is a penalty. You generally can lead to a first down, which it would have been for the Eagles, but they did not call it. They instead called the false start because Steen, like an idiot, literally moved forward to touch the defensive lineman before the play even snapped. So that's your term of the week. There you go.
Montgomery running through the defensive wall. St. Brown catching every single call.
All right, so this past Sunday Night Football, all of us were here in the barn, including our friend Philly Zach, guest of the show, friend of the show, a little less of a friend after this past Sunday. But yeah, the Detroit Lions unfortunately fell to the defending world champion Philadelphia Eagles. Very low-scoring game, something we're not used to, 16-9. Eagles obviously scoring the 16, Lions scoring the 9. The Lions' lone touchdown came onto a Jamison Williams touchdown.
And then even we had the bummer on that one with the old extra point celebration.
Yeah. Which, once again, no fun league. I understand that that's a no-no, but it's like there was no inappropriate behavior. There was no cussing sworn out. He literally jumped up and hugged the goalpost and fell backwards. If anything, it's like, hey, he almost gave himself a concussion doing something kind of silly.
Well, and I was talking to Dad earlier, too.
Yeah.
I go back to the Commanders game when that, I forget who it was, chucked the ball and almost took out the photographer on the sideline.
Yeah.
Did anything happen from that? There was no penalty.
Yeah.
Was he fined? That put that photographer and her camera in harm's way.
Yeah,
it did,
Rodriguez, right?
Was it?
Yeah, I think, they're backup running back.
So, I'm sorry if we offended the goalpost, but feel free to take out any photographer on the sideline. They're there voluntarily.
Yeah. So, right. Yeah, they're definitely not getting paid and definitely don't deserve to be put in harm's way. But, yeah, so, I mean, at the end of the day, though, I'll ask your guys' opinions on this, but just to quickly sum it up, I mean, pretty abysmal performance by the offense, although you can argue that the Eagles played super standout on defense. We'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. Lions defense, honestly, I would dare say played well enough to win a Super Bowl as a performance, but unfortunately the offense couldn't match that or honestly get even close. But we'll start with you, Cousin Lyle. What was your kind of takeaway or opinion of the game, having watched it here in the barn?
Yeah, just another frustrating game. And I think that's what we've experienced, for the most part, watching these games where the Lions have come up short. It's not. It has never felt like, okay, it's just two teams really going at each other, and may the best team win, and
which we were all hoping for, and I think the NFL just base as a whole was hoping for.
You put it on Sunday night. So, that's kind of the thought on one of those big time matchups. But in the end, instead, as Lions fans, and maybe call me out for this or whatever, it always feels like it's what the Lions didn't do more than what the other team did do. And again, props to Philly. They've got a defense. They're shutting down teams, especially now that they've got Jalen Phillips. I think was a great fit for them and has caused that defense to go to a next level. But it just always feels like, man, if there's just a few plays here and there, the Lions are just not seeming to run the play clean. Somebody misses an assignment. Somebody runs the wrong route. A throw is there, but it's thrown at their ankles or their knees, and it's not quite right, and the receiver couldn't come up with it. It's just those little things that keep coming up in these games, and it makes you feel like, we were so close, but we were just a couple plays away. But the next thing you do, you look up and you're 6-4, and you're out of the playoffs if the playoffs started today right now.
Yep. How about you, Josh?
Yeah, I go back to what you said during the watch party. Points at a premium. We're going for it too often, and it bit us in the butt. I mean, it's great when it works, no question. Yeah. When it doesn't, obviously you're left questioning whether or not they should have done it. I mean, not kicking the field goal against the 49ers, that night I was irritated because I thought we should have at least done one.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, looking back, the numbers say that this is what you should do. So in this case,
and they didn't really have a reliable kicker at that time.
True.
So they were more leaning into the strengths of the team at that time. But they have a kicker who can kick far, and obviously the wind was playing a big factor.
Big time, yeah.
We saw the pregame warm-ups where Bates missed like a 50-yarder, Jake Elliott missed a 53-yarder, and the wind whipped that thing. That was crazy.
So I'm sure there was that little aspect that was in contention of deciding what to do. But when he finally did decide to kick it, it was like you said, why now?
Yeah.
And then they did, and it drilled it right down the middle, and you say, man, that would have been a better play back in the second quarter than the fourth. But
and really one of the funniest things about it is that just it was just such a weird game because it felt like the Lions were getting their butts kicked, but at the same time, the score didn't say that. You look at how well the defense played against a very talented offense. I know obviously the Eagles aren't putting up the points they probably should be this season, but that's new offensive coordinator. We're familiar with that this year, but it's just like it just felt like we were a couple plays away, and once again, how often do you get Jared Goff, who is the most accurate quarterback in the NFL this season, to throw 14 for 37? Yeah. That's a very uncharacteristic game, Well, he only had one interception. He only got sacked twice. That's not even the most times he was sacked on the year.
The big question is his drops. How many drops did they have? I can't
a lot of batted balls.
Batted balls.
Batted balls.
4 of them.
Jordan Davis, he's a stud, But yet, there's a couple highlights. Honestly, I would say the defense was a highlight as a whole. I don't think anybody can look at that defense who still has mostly the Legion of Whom back there, but just you can't look at the defense and say that they played poorly. You can't. Like,
they weren't the reason we lost.
Yeah, I mean, you could even read the stats. Like, I'll just say what they held people to. Barkley had a good game, but he had 83 yards on 26 carries. That's still a 3.2 average.
Right, that's very inefficient.
That's very inefficient for a guy who I thought should have won MVP last year. You got A.J. Brown, one of the best receivers in football. He's held under 50.
Does it say how many targets he had? I think he was targeted quite a bit.
11 targets. He caught 7 balls. Johan Dotson, who's literally a 1 to 2 catch guy, he usually gets a big play. He still was under 50 yards. Dallas Goedert, who's been one of their top targets in the year, he had 5 targets, 2 catches for 24. Devonta Smith, who as a player I really like a lot, he's a guy who's playing like he's a number 1 receiver. He was held to 1 catch on 5 targets for 8 yards. So
8 yards, wow.
It's just, but it's just missed assignments, generally a miscommunication. I think coaching played a part in it. It's not often you say in a game, wow, if we would have punted a couple more times, we'd probably win the game, or at least be put in a position to better win, considering that we were going 4-down-4. Probably didn't need to, especially because it was almost a 1-possession game almost the entire game, right? So it's like you can still kind of punt, and the Lions have the breakaway the plays. You see Gibbs, you see Jamo. Those 2 guys can turn a screen pass or a pitch or an end around into an 80-yard touchdown at any time. And it did look like both of those guys had plays where they were going to bust out a big run if they could just beat 1 more person or 2 more people, which we have seen them do a number of times. Regardless, I think at the end of the day, offense needs to get their act together. I think weather could have played a part, but at the end of the day, the defense played great, which is fantastic because and the offense is so talented that this could be a one-off game. This could be just single-handedly one of the worst games we play all year. And, hopefully it's a kick in the butt and realize, like, hey, we really need to shape this up. So all I know is that Dan Campbell hasn't lost in a long time 2 direct games in a season, 2 back-to-back games, and I'm starting to feel a little worried for the New York Giants and this friend of mine who will be calling in here in just a couple of minutes. So...
Yeah, I just, again, the stats showed that the Lions won pretty much every stat battle that there was in there, except for the score. Mm-hmm. And again, I think that there was some points that were given away to the other side. I think there were some points that were given up on our side of things. So to lose a 1-possession game against the, again, defending world champions in their house Sunday night, it shouldn't feel this bad, but I feel like a lot of people are taking this as some sort of a sign that the Lions aren't going to be a team to be reckoned with. And I think that that's a little premature right now.
I agree.
And we've regressed back into getting questionable calls going against us, too.
Yeah, for a game to end on that.
That was garbage.
That really soft pass interference where both teams were interfering with the other, and the ball looked almost uncatchable.
Yeah.
Kind of ridiculous considering it would have given
unknown caller.
All right, so joining us for the first time on the Outside the Den, Inside the Barn podcast, we got a good friend of mine. Met him. Holy crap, has been it's 25 now. Oh my God, over 12 years ago, we got my good friend Luna, Giants fan Luna, another guy from enemy territory coming in on the podcast. Luna, please say what's up to our so many fans who are clearly listening to the podcast.
Or say hi
Hi,
to yourself.
everybody. I'm only here to say, go Big Blue.
Go Big Blue. All right. Wrong type of blue, but that's okay, man. All right, Luna, so before we get into our next segment, do you want to just tell the people, so how did you become a Lions fan? Because obviously I met you up at school.
Or Giants?
Or Giants fan. He can root for the Lions at times, but our friend David is too antagonistic towards him. So I get if Luna doesn't want to root for him just to piss off David. But, yeah, Luna, so obviously we met in undergrad at a university in the state of Michigan. But, yeah, tell everybody why you are a Giants fan. How did you become a Giants fan? What's going on with that?
I am a Giants fan because I am from Long Island, born and raised. Grew up, then moved to New Jersey. So it was the team. And out of hate for the Jets, I am that guy. Big Blue Lou.
Yeah. Yeah. Just you born a little after Lawrence Taylor's time, but just yeah, man. But yeah, hey, you got to see.
Era.
Yeah.
Favorite all-time Giants player?
My favorite all-time Giants player is definitely Lawrence Taylor, followed by Chris Canty, and then probably Jason Seward.
I didn't hear Dan Campbell in there. He was a Giants player.
But yeah, so Luna in his lifetime has got to witness 2 Super Bowl championships, both times beating Tom Brady by the lesser Manning brother, or arguably the better Manning brother until Peyton won his second. But yeah, so how was it enjoying some Super Bowls, Luna? Victories, how was that?
Yeah, what's that like?
I'll give you the extreme details, but the first one they called me lame because I didn't go to the parade, and I went to hold on.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
Apologize. I'm in the drive-through. I'm trying to pay for food. So,
Oh, hey,
calling us from the drive-through.
Yeah. Give me give me 6 wing nuggets and a cheeseburger.
There?
I gotta get a cheeseburger in. Come on, guys.
Hey, when you get up to the drive-through, put the person on.
Yeah. No, please don't.
Tell them you're on a call-in radio.
Please don't.
Say hi to our dozens of subscribers.
Yeah, our dozens. A literal multiple dozen of subscribers.
You're on the phone with Howard Stern or Joe Rogan or whoever. Just make it up.
Yeah. No. It's cool. I'm just saying. First time I was in high school, got called lame for not skipping school by a person that really wanted to give me detention. So I made sure the second time I skipped school and went to the parade and hung out with the people drunk in the middle of Manhattan. It was the best experience you'll ever have. Thank you for the drink.
That's what he was saying in Manhattan.
Yeah. Thank you for the drink. Yeah. Hey, Luna, at least when you win a Super Bowl, you don't go out in the street and eat horse shit. You know what I mean?
No, we are better. We are classy individuals.
Yeah. Long Island classy, right?
Would you?
Yeah. That's what we're defined as.
Yeah.
Hey,
the medium and classy.
Luna, would you consider Philadelphia your main rivals?
Our biggest rival is the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. We don't respect them at all. We don't go to the state of Dallas. Only Cowboys fans we respect are the ones actually from the state of Texas in the Dallas region. I know what I said. Anyway, Philadelphia, I don't mind the team. I hate the fan base. Yeah. It's the fan. I live in Philadelphia territory right now. And I sit there every day and like, oh, y'all play, y'all successful. Excuse me, Lions fans, I have a big problem with y'all for not beating them this weekend, and I make my life extremely miserable because I had to sit there and be like, "Go Birds! Go
Birds!" First of all, I'm going to call Cap. Breaking news here. Me and Luna did in fact go to Texas together.
Okay.
We were nowhere near Dallas, but still we were in Texas at the same time. I don't remember seeing a lot of Dallas. I don't remember.
Cowboys fans from Texas.
Yeah, I don't remember
all the Cowboys fans are like in Alabama or weird places, right?
Yeah, they were formerly in Michigan.
They're all over the world. They're America's team.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly. America's embarrassment.
Put your money where your mouth is. I'll get all of that. Just so tell me now, are you feeling lucky, Paul?
All right, Luna. So thank you, man. We are going to jump into Cousin Lyle's Casino. So get ready to answer some questions as you put down your chips, and we turn it over to Cousin Lyle as we enter in Cousin Lyle's Casino. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That crowd's going wild.
Welcome all of the usual bettors and anybody new on the scene here. We're going to get into this week's bets here momentarily, but I do have to do a recap of last week. We had 5 people on the panel here, so we want to make sure to give everybody credit for their hits and their misses here. So last week, again, against the Philadelphia Eagles, the first question on the board was Battle of the Backfield Stars. Who has more total yards from scrimmage, Jahmyr Gibbs or Saquon Barkley? Well, it was Jahmyr Gibbs who had a huge day receiving-wise. He had 39 yards rushing, but he had 107 yards receiving for 146 total yards. Saquon was really held down. He had 83 rush yards, as we just talked about, on like 26 carries, so very poor average there. Only had 7 yards rushing, so overall 90 yards. 7 yards receiving. So overall 90 yards. So Gibbs won the battle on that one. In that question, all 4 of the Lions fans that were on the panel, Jake, Josh, me, and Brad took Jameer. Philly Zach went with Saquon and lost his money on that one. So 4 out of 5 on the first one there.
That's a win.
That's a win. Yeah,
that's a win.
Wait till you read the next 3.
Number 2, the top another top 5 wide receiver duel. I did that to myself. More combined receiving yards between AJ and Devontae or Amon-Ra St. Brown and
He wants
J-Mo.
a cheeseburger. Luna taunted him.
Yeah. So in this game, again, the Lions statistically came out on top. 130 yards total between J-Mo and Amon-Ra. J-Mo having 88, Amon-Ra had 42. The Eagles only had 57 total yards from 49 from AJ, and 8 from Devontae for 57. So again, the Lions outpaced the Eagles there. Zach actually took the Lions in that one. So Philly Zach took the Lions there as well as Brad did. The 3 chuckleheads on this panel here all took the Eagles. Stupidly,
who would have thought the 2 guys most upset at AJ Brown's underperformance is the one who would win?
Right.
Yep.
They went opposite. They were right. Yep. So 3 out of 5 wrong there. Next question on the board: it hurts so good or so bad? Jalen Hurts under or over 25 yards rushing? He did end up with 31 yards, so he just beat it out, which means that Zach, Jake, and Brad all had the over there. Josh and I had the under. And then the last question on the board for Fox's sake, Jack Fox over or under 3.5 punts. I almost had this one nailed pretty good. He had 4 punts total. Should have been 5 probably if they would have not tried that fake punt that was so unsuccessful.
God. That was probably the one I was still most angry about.
So we ended up with Zach, Jake, and myself taking the over there. Josh and Brad took the under there. So on the night after that one, Philly Zach actually was a pretty good winner. He had 3 out of 4. Jake, you had 2 out of 4. Josh, flipping that.
I had 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4.
You had 3 out of 4?
Me
3 out of 4. Josh, Josh had 1 out of 4.
The
with
young
his
guns
flipping
getting
coins.
it done.
Yeah. And then me, I had 2 out of 4. Brad also had 3 out of 4. So 3 out of 4 for 3 of them. That's not too bad there, guys.
Yeah. That win plus money, I'm ready to put it down for another week of gambling, right, Luna? Because you can't win if you stop gambling, right?
Gotta play to get the win.
That's right.
All right, so this week we don't have Breaking Brad, so I am just going to slot Luna right into that spot here. And we are going to go forward.
Ooh.
Them's fighting words. We're going to
see, Brad, this is what happens when you take the week off.
Little fun story. Little fun story about Luna from our freshman year up at school. So I came up from behind him to kind of surprise him.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm not a taller guy. I'm taller than Luna. Luna literally, I did that. He flipped me over his shoulder onto my back or my butt. It was crazy. I just saw the world spin, and I was like, "What just happened?" He's like, "Don't do that, bro." I'm like, "Okay, sounds good."
He's from New York. He's got to be right.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm a trained wrestler.
That's true.
That'll do. Leverage every time. All right, guys. So we're going to go into Week 12 here. Lions versus Giants. First question on the board that we've got.
I got to buy my way in.
There you go. Chips on the table. First question. You got to work on that rushing, comrade. Lions to average over or under 5.0 yards per carry in this game. So on the season, the Lions are averaging 4.6 yards a carry. Jameer is averaging 5.2 when he totes the rock. Demo, 4.5. Fun fact, JG, Jared Goff, 1.8 yards a carry.
Yeah.
I think that's probably high for him, actually.
Yeah.
On the flip side, the Giants have allowed the most rushing yards and the highest yards per carry in the league. They've allowed 1,649 rushing yards on the year and an average of 5.5 yards per carry. So in this game, are the Lions going to average over or under 5 yards a carry? We're going to start, as always, with Jake.
I'm going to say over. I have a good feeling about Gibbs having a good game, and I think the Lions are going to want to kind of reset everything, just kind of go back to basics, just to kind of wash out the, what happened this past Sunday night. So I'm going to go with the over.
All right, Jake's going over. Josh, what's the strategy this week?
Well, I can't flip the coin. I can't do a 50-50, so I'm just going to have to go with pure gut, which I have a huge one, so hopefully it's good. So I'm gonna go with Jake. I'm going to say over 2. I think we're going to have some explosive plays from Gibbs and Demo, and I'm going to throw J-Mo in there too.
Yeah, a little end around action.
All right, so
we line them up at running back.
We've got 2 Lions fans that believe that they're going to average more than 5 yards a carry in this next game. Luna, this is your chance to defend your boys. What do you got to say?
I'm in deep depression right now because I can destroy it later, but I want a deep root canal of the team, and it needs to start with Shane Bowen. So over.
Yes, I have heard a lot about the Shane Bowen dislike.
Oh, my. Get him out of here, please. You're giving me an MVP candidate, Jameer Gibbs, and saying this half a linebacker is going to stop him. No, over.
Half a linebacker.
Oh, man. So we've got 3 overs here. This is the part where I'm supposed to save the graphic. Right? This is the part where I'm supposed to say under. I'm supposed to say the Giants are going to rise up. You're going to get a little Dexter Lawrence action in the middle there. You're going to get Burns and Thibodeau collapsing on the edges. I can't do it, guys. I got to go over as well. We got to go all 4
the graphic.
Speaking of rise up, fun fact, Luna, big fan of Alexander Hamilton, not the musical, although I actually don't know. I've never talked about the musical, but the actual former Secretary of the Treasury.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, fun fact.
All right, so we've got 4 overs there. The next one is going to come down number 2, New York sacked exchange. The Lions over or under, or you can call even. I've learned my lesson on this one. 3 sacks in this game. So on the year, the Lions have 31 sacks in 10 games, which is an average of 3.1 sacks a game. The G-men have given up 33 sacks in 11 games. They haven't had their bye yet. So that's a 3 on the nose, 3.0 on the nose. The last game, the Lions only had 1 sack against Philadelphia. That one was actually a split sack between Hutch and Roy Lopez. So are the Lions going to get over, under, or even 3 sacks in this game? Josh, going to start with you.
Homer time. It's going to be over.
Anybody in particular you're looking at for a big game?
No, I want to see him decimate somebody.
Just looking to inflict some pain. Okay.
I'm going to will it to them.
All right, Luna, on the Giants side of things, depending on who's going to be the quarterback there, I guess could come into play here. But do you think that the Lions will get over, under, or even 3 sacks in this game?
I was a little confused by the topic title. You said New York Sack Exchange, and I was about to be on my Brian Burns is about to get 4 sacks today. But we are not there right now, so I have to reverse my thought process and recognize the stats that you have suggested were all Andrew Thomas's return, and that is a premier offensive tackle in the game. Jermaine Illuminor's game has elevated. Aiden Hutchinson will be lucky to smell Jameis Winston because on the flip side, Casca runs the ball all the time. If you looked at the last game, it was a 65 to 75% rushing total. They're not going to throw the ball. Under.
I like it. There's some nice inside information. I didn't realize that Andrew Thomas was back for this game, so it's good to know there. So some pretty strong opinions and some pretty strong perspectives on that one from the New York guy. Jake, did that sway you in any way on what you're going to pick in this game?
So I had a reason for it being under. I'm going to, first of all, back my guy up because Luna's my guy. But also, another one of my guys, Jameis Winston, famous Jameis, eating W's and stealing crab legs. He's going to see Hutchinson coming at him and he's just going to yeet that ball right to Brian Branch's hands as quick as he can. So
I thought you were going to pull the old Jurassic Park. You see one over here, but you don't see.
No, Jameis can barely see himself. So, and he
did get LASIK.
He did get LASIK, but as somebody who has played many sports with pretty poor vision, at some point you're going to toss it up. But no, I think under Andrew Thomas coming back is a pretty big deal. Calling a lot of run plays also a big deal, and especially how this game goes because I think both teams are going to want to control the game.
Is this their second game since the coaching fire, or is this the first game?
This is the first game right since Daboll got fired, right? Or is this the second?
This is the second game from Dable got fired. Kafka's first decision was to make Jameis the starter because of Jackson Dart's concussion.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. So, so under.
Question: is Kafka the former Northwestern quarterback, or is
correct?
That he is. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't realize
he's the former Northwestern quarterback. Went to Kansas City. Was there in the development process of Pat Mahomes. Went to Philadelphia. Has the great relationship with Andy Reid, which is why he got the job at Kansas City to be the quarterback's coach. And then came to the New York Giants where Brian Daboll was like, I got it. No. Let him cook.
Okay, so wait a second. So you said he was there during the development of Patrick Mahomes. So does that mean this week we're going to see a lot of Giants just lifting their hands up every time somebody comes close to the quarterback, looking for that flag? Is that the kind of training?
If the ref is to my favor, it'll be the first time ever, but I'll take it. I need more teammates.
All right, so we've got 2 on the under, 1 on the over. I can either even this out or I can make it 3-1 and put Josh on the island. I'm actually going to go over here. The reason for my going over here is that I do think that there's going to be a pretty big sense of urgency on the Lions to get out, try to score quickly, get out in front, get a lead. Make the Giants a little more one-dimensional, even if they don't want to. Maybe they still do run it, even if they're down multiple scores at some point. But I do think that forcing them into having a pass situation, being able to pin their ears back, I think that's going to give a few more opportunities, especially if it is going to be Jameis. I don't know if Jackson Dart's going to be back for this game. And Jameis is not quite as mobile there, so that would be if he's going to play another opportunity to get some sacks. So I'm going to take the over.
That Ford Field crowd too.
Yep, it can factor in for sure.
We're itching.
Yeah, Josh is ready to explode over here.
Yeah, there's a lot of anger in my management that I need to get out.
So we're going 2-2 on that one. The next question, number 3. When you're hot, you're hot. J-Mo, is he going to score another touchdown in this game?
On a streak.
So J-Mo has 5 touchdowns on the year, but since the bye week, he has scored a touchdown in every game. That's against Minnesota, Washington, and Philadelphia. The G-Men, they've given up 19 touchdowns on the year, again in 11 games, which puts them tied for 7th worst in the league as far as overall touchdowns. But again, they do have that extra game, whereas most people have had their bye. For instance, the Lions have given up 18 touchdowns in one less game. Mm-hmm. So, it's not a bad secondary by those statistics anyways. But if you guys believe Jameson's going to score a touchdown in this game after scoring 1 in each of the last 3 games? Going to actually start with the New York Giants guy on this. Are you going to be able to shut down J-Mo?
This is football John Morant. I think in general, J-Mo has one of the smoothest releases, and he goes deep. The issue is, do they give him enough targets? I actually, this is one of my biggest concerns about this game because one of my biggest intrigues about this game because the way that the Lions secondary is actually hits the 2 competent DBs that the Giants have, whether it be Cordell Flott on the outside that will play cornerback 1 who randomly figured out midway through year 4, I'm a good corner. And then Drew Phillips, who was an elite flat guy, can match up against Amon-Ra. And I don't know. I'm more watching for talent development. I know I'm giving a lot of background in this situation just to see what we have. That means exactly Waymo gets over.
All right. So we got a Waymo TD from the Giants guy. Jake, what's your thought here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with no because St. Brown was a absolute almost non-factor last game. I think that he is their 2-time All-Pro. I think they are going to try and force-feed him targets and, once again, run the ball a lot. So I think they are going to get J-Mo a couple targets because they have been very clearly trying to utilize him more as they have not really did earlier in the season, and he is clearly feeding off of that. But I do think 4 games in a row is tough. Especially at the wide receiver position, especially if you're not like a Jamar Chase or, if Malik Neighbors had, Joe Burrow throwing to him.
Why you got to bring up bad memories, man? I love Malik. R.I.P.
I know, dude. I like him too, man. I was hyped for you guys when you got him. But he was one of the guys you wanted too. So you got him. That was cool. I remember that phone call on draft night. But I don't think so, just because I think they're going to be focusing on other parts of the offense. But yeah.
All right, so we got one yes and one no. Josh?
I'm going to go yes, just because I'm expecting a trick play, just to try to get that crowd fired up. So
yeah.
All right. So 2 yeses, 1 no. I'm actually going to go yes here as well. I do think that there is something to the development. They're definitely looking for J-Mo, I think, in these last 2 games since Dan Campbell took over the play calling here. Sam Laporta being out means that I think that there's other players that have to step up into that secondary role from Amon-Ra, and I think that J-Mo is one of those guys. And, I think that he's got a few different ways that he can score, whether it's the deep ball, whether he can break something from a short slant or in route or something like that, crossing route, or like Josh says, if they're going to run some sort of a trick play, end around, something to get his speed involved. So I think he's going to continue the trend here. So Jake is out on no J-Mo Island. Way to be a hater, man. All right, and then
I don't know how you do that. Christian Watson has Butterfingers dipped in hot grease, dipped in baby oil. All did he? And he sat there and the most amazing touchdown pass I've ever seen in my life from a guy who cannot see in Jordan Love. And you're telling me that J-Mo can't get a touchdown?
I'm not saying he can. I just said he's not going to, with how I'm assuming, based off of what I've seen, that the game plan is not necessarily to get J-Mo a touchdown, but rather to get back to the run game, and as well as kind of get Amon-Ra back involved, because he has been so not really there the last couple of games. So,
all right, guys, let's leave it for later on. We're going to go on to question 4 so we can get out of the casino here.
Sorry, we'll kiss and make up on Sunday. It's okay. So.
Number 4, they might not be Giants. The G-Men, over or under 280 yards of offense in this game. All right, so on the year, the Giants are averaging well above that. They're averaging 333 yards per game on offense so far. The Lions, their defense is giving up 291.8, so basically 292 yards on defense. So that 280 is below both of those here. Mm-hmm. But, again, figuring in what the Lions are facing here, their urgency at home, some of those things.
Coming off a great
and the question, of course, being at the quarterback position for the Giants, will it be Jackson Dart? Will it be famous Jameis? Will it be – no. No, it's not going to be Russ.
Not Mr. Unlimited. Nah.
So it's gotta be. It's going horribly wrong if it is.
So we're going to go back around the horn here. We're going to start with Jake. Will the G-Men get over or under 280 yards of offense in this game?
You know what? I like to think I am a pessimistic Lions fan in general. I'm fairly realistic. I do think that the Lions are going to be. It's going to be up to the offense whether or not actually the Giants get 280 yards, because the Lions have a talented enough offense to control most of this game and not give as many opportunities. And if the Lions come out and play like they did against the Eagles on defense, the Giants are going to have a very long day. So I'm going to actually go under.
Under?
Bold call. I'm going to say
it's
under.
It's a bold one. Yeah, I put the number down there just for that purpose because we are mostly Lions fans here. Josh, what do you think?
Staying homer and going under. I agree with the way they played last week. I think the defense is going to come into a very energized Ford Field, and
no major injuries on defense.
Yeah, I mean they're going to and we got a couple coming back, right?
Yeah.
So I think they are going to be forced to throw the ball just because we're going to be all over their run game. So,
all right, so we've got 2 unders here. Luna, this is your chance to defend your boys. They can get 280 yards of offense in this game, can't they?
I completely agree with that statement. This is a Mike Kafka interview. He had 7 games of interview for the New York Giants and every other head coaching operation in the league, whether it be Tennessee or whatever. He is going to show out on offense and his offensive expertise. He's going to make sure he methodically moves the ball in a strategic manner and distributes the ball to PPR King Wan'Dale Robinson, and then even gets the ghost of Isaiah Hodgins involved. This is what he does. And he's not going to miss his next opportunity at a head coaching job. He's not going to interview for Seattle's role and get canceled out and then give it to somebody else. it's going to be Mike Cappy. He's going to have a head coaching job next year, and this is a 7-game interview. It continues this.
All right, strong argument there. I really like the thoughts and the reasoning on that. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put Luna on Giants Island here. I'm going to go under as well, just so that we can force the guest of honor here on this podcast to be sitting there on his own. So I'm taking the under. That's 3 out of 4 under. That is the casino for this week. Good luck, gentlemen. May Lady Luck follow you wherever you may go, even over in the Long Island or Philadelphia area.
I appreciate that. As long as I'm better than the Eagles.
As long as it's not MetLife, you know.
That's right.
Hopefully ACLs and Achilles stay intact. So,
listen. When we were playing the Green Bay, I was like, "This is the best defender on the field is MetLife because it's taking out at least 4 players."
Oh no! For the longest time,
they lost Jacobs. They lost Dobbs.
Yeah.
Love was out for like 3 plays.
Yeah, Love was out.
Yeah.
Malik Willis still scored a touchdown somehow.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this?
Yeah. You remember when people wanted Malik Willis over Aiden Hutchinson?
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
I remember seeing somebody thinking he was going to be a bust, and I got the laugh in his face. Of course, it's the same guy that claimed to be an offensive line guru, which he's not. So.
Are you talking about Hutch part?
Yeah, the Hutch.
Because he wanted him to take Malik.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he's going to be a bust.
Yep. All right. So we are going to get into our game preview. This upcoming Sunday, November 23rd, the Lions, come back from Philadelphia after a tough, cold game. They go back into the warm comfort, the den, or as Luna would call it, the Pride Rock, Ford Field. That's where Lions live. They live at Pride Rock. So that's an inside joke for me, Luna, and David. Sorry, Luna. So the Lions take on the New York Giants at 1 o'clock this upcoming Sunday. The Detroit Lions, 6-4, coming off a tough loss to Philadelphia. The New York Giants, Luna, I'll ask you about a little summary of the season on what to expect from your New York Giants shortly. But the Lions do open up at home a 10.5-point favorite on the sports books. That's their money line at plus 650, as well as an over. The point line is going to be 49.5, so expecting a handful of points being scored this game. The Lions being pretty significantly favored in this game. Luna, will you give us a quick rundown of your the G-men this season? What has their season been looking like? Obviously, we've kind of joked about some stuff, talked about some stuff, alluded, but do you want to just give us a rundown of the New York Giants season as they go into this game?
2-word answer: we suck. But in reality, the season has not gone according to plan in any sort of form or fashion. I started off the conversation saying I'm in a deep root canal scenario where I want to see massive changes. I love Mike Kafka. I want to see him go. Part of my issue with the New York Giants is that there's been a cancerous, toxic environment that has impacted the entire organization. And at that moment, I will also pause and say, get better, John Mara. Recover as best as you can because you have a big job to do in firing everybody. That
get your strength.
Prayers up.
So get your strength. You need to be strong for this. With that in mind, the New York Giants have had a lot of injuries that have deterred how the offense has moved. Malik Neighbors has been a piece of that. Scatterbull has been gone. Jackson Dart has concussion issues because he doesn't know how to run or slide.
Yep.
Great everything else. Just needs to learn how to slide. Offensive line has been under rotation, but they're in the trenches. We know that they go to war every day. So it's okay to have some bruises. But it's good to see people coming back. As I mentioned, Andrew Thomas has come back. And then Jermaine Illuminor has been on and off, and he's coming back. When those two are on the field together, it's kind of one of the strongest O-lines in the NFL. When there's one of them missing, they are disastrous. No communication, no effort, no where to run. Tyrone Tracy just came back. I love Tyrone Tracy. He's a very explosive runner. He's there, and he's a very has a lot of prospect in his sophomore year. It's sad that he had a lot of games shut short because of that shoulder, but it gave us Scatterbull. The defense is atrocious, and I'm a huge defensive guy. If you ever know my football assessment, even if you look at my defensive fantasy football statistics, I win because I love defense. That being said, we have one level. It is pass rush. That's it. Whoever Shane Bowen thinks he is, he's not that guy. He does not know how to design schemes, and that lets up a lot of points. There's no way we get into a shootout with Dallas. I understand that Dak Prescott is having one of the MVP caliber seasons with no defense of his own, but that should not have happened. That should not have happened. We should not be down. There's at least 4 games that ended with less than 3 or less than 1 score games. You need to win those, and that's the mark of a bad defense. What is also a mark of is the next category of special teams, and I can't believe that's getting referenced in this situation. We don't know who our kicker is going to be every week. It could be me. I'm coming to the set.
This is flashback to 3 years ago.
That is a huge issue that we need to address, and that is the Giants season. Ultimately, 2-word summary: we suck.
Hey, Luna, at the beginning of the year, what were your expectations at the beginning of the year? Before you came to the two.
My expectations, or the Giants Giants Nation.
Your expectations in particular.
My expectations have been very critical of the New York Giants organization since the hiring of Joe Schoen. I have not seen him add too much talent to the roster. This year was the most talented roster he's had, and his entire career since his first year, which was mostly Dave Gettleman's players, and Dave Gettleman was a horrible GM. That has to sit in, and you have to think about that. With that, you were set up to have Brian Daboll be fired. There was no surviving this season for Brian Daboll. I understood this was going to be a struggle bus season, and they said the roster was one of the toughest. The schedule was one of the toughest schedules that was in the NFL. I think it was the second hardest ranked by PFF. It was not going to be pretty, but people drank the Kool-Aid. Draft Jackson Dart. We're going to save the franchise and change it. When he gets in the game, Cam Scatterable, he's crazy. He's going to run through everybody. Russ is getting signed. Oh, my gosh, he's going to let him cook. Oh, my gosh, Sierra's going to be on the field and performing. Oh, we got Jameis. Jameis the Clown. He's going to steal them like he's going to steal them crab legs. I hated everything. And as soon as that preseason game and the vibes were high and people were like, maybe this season's not going to be that bad, I was like, no. I will see you in the top 5 draft picks next year.
Man, I can't wait to give Luna a hug. He needs one.
Well, I tell you what, I was kind of a little down coming into this episode just because of everything. Yeah. But I'm having a heck of a great time right now. Yeah. To you, Luna, credit.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, he's a light in this terrible time.
I think you're 2 for 2 in guests.
I know they're good people, except Luna's clearly superior because why he's not an Eagles fan.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
But he talked that talk. He got to walk the walk.
I will also comment the contrast in the tone of what I just spoke at and what I'm speaking at right now. I just gave a professional speech to a whole bunch of students that are trying to enter into the accounting field. And now I'm transitioning into the thing I'm most passionate about in my life. If I had a girlfriend, she would know she's number 2 to the New York Giants.
Yeah. My guy. My guy. Oh, man.
Oh, good stuff.
So that's awesome.
Montgomery running through the defensive wall. St. Brown catching every single call. Playoff bound now.
So, so the Detroit Lions coming off a tough loss. Obviously want to get right in this game. The Detroit Lions have not lost 2 straight games or 2 back-to-back games in a regular season since 22.
Yeah, and I feel like we've had to reference that a few times now, so I don't really like that. We keep
I know,
but it is true still. It's
exactly.
Still true.
It is true. So it's one of those things where, as Lions fans are feeling pretty confident going into this game. The Giants are having a downer bit of a season. They obviously have lost a lot of players. We know what that's like last year. I mean, we lost almost our entire defense throughout the season. And, so it's going to be an interesting matchup because the Giants do have famous Jameis, They do have some players who can play. They obviously have a premier a premier tackle coming back. Does Andrew play on the left or right, Luna?
Andrew's left
yeah. So premier left tackle. And as we know, for some reason, Kelvin Shepard wants to line up our potential defensive player of the year, Aiden Hutchinson, only against the best player.
I think the
Do you remember when Nick Bonito was in contention for defensive player of the year this year?
I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah, Andrew Thomas.
Yeah, there
Shut
you
him
go.
down.
There you go. So that's a great point. Luna, I know you were watching or at least checked out a couple episodes of the podcast, or at least last week's episode. But right now we're going to go, because obviously you can hear the breakdown of everything throughout the game on any of your other sports channels. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go down the line. We're going to talk about the matchups for the game, specifically what's a matchup you want to highlight. I'm going to have you go second to last, Luna, so we're going to start down with my big brother Josh to give him all the options. But Josh, what is a matchup in this game you would like to highlight? Is it going to be the refs again against the Lions?
No, I won't go with refs. I have two matchups, one serious, one joking one. Could be two joking ones, but we'll see.
Yep.
No, I do want to see what our D-line can do against, the rush. I think we can shut it down, force them to pass, so that's kind of the matchup. That's the serious one. Yep. The joking one, there's actually two of them. One of them is going to be based off the prior conversation that you guys had. I want to see the matchup between you and Luna again. Okay. I want to see if he can, flip you over the shoulder.
Oh my God, he can.
I want to see it. I want to see it in person.
No, we're old now. One of us is going to get hurt.
Yeah, which leads me into the next one.
The one is you.
Probably.
But the next matchup I want to see is Jake versus whatever food we decide at Ford Field to see.
Oh
if
yeah,
he
the
can
Cleveland
survive.
Browns game. Oh my God, dude! Almost
Shane Bowen.
my pants like 3 times.
Ooh.
Almost.
Yeah. You were sitting with me.
Oh, the radio waves. Okay.
That's right. This is a family-friendly podcast.
Yeah, no, you better bleep that.
Yeah.
Well,
I need you to bleep it out with just Luna saying crab legs. All right, yeah. So me against the food. You son of a bitch. I had an idea, but all right, you go ahead, Lyle. What's a matchup? Hopefully a football one.
Yeah, it's a football one.
I went with football first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to see, how the bounce back for Jared Goff is going to go. He had his definitely his most poor performance in quite some time. I mean, it might even surpass that 5 interception game last year against the Texans.
Well, we found a way to come back and win that one.
Right,
so,
exactly.
Yeah,
this one was just, it seemed like he was on dropbacks. He was unsure of himself. The ball placement wasn't where it was supposed to be. It was, the 2 gloves. You never know how that affects, the throws or anything like that. So I do want to see that, especially against a team that, like Luna said, if there's one thing they can do on defense, it is the pass rush. They've got Brian Burns on the edge. They've got Thibodeau in a rotating cast on the other edge there that can come in and put some pressure on the edge side of things. So it's not so much the middle this time that I'm concerned about, but the edges and we know that Jared is not that fleet-footed of a quarterback. He can maneuver in the pocket a little bit, but he's not going to extend plays. So I want to see him have that bounce-back game in this game against at least a pretty notable pass rush.
All right. And Luna, what about you? What's a matchup? The Giants fan on the podcast, on a Detroit Lions podcast, what is the matchup in this game, this upcoming game on the 23rd that you want to highlight for us?
I would like to see Abdul Carter beat his alarm clock and wake up and show up to this game, get a sack, get on the stat sheet, get your conversation for Defensive Rookie of the Year started. It starts with you. That's my joking but serious one. As well as I'm really excited about this offensive line versus defensive line matchup. Both sides of the ball.
Yep. Spoken like a former lineman.
Aiden Hutchinson really is, and see if he can get that rushing on Andrew Thomas. I've said his name multiple times in this podcast for a reason. He is one of my highlights, and I like to just show that we do have a premier tackle. He is an asset. He will be here next year. On the flip side, you have one of the best O-lines in the game, and I want to see how good our D-line is. I know as soon as Dexter Lawrence comes out the game, we have a completely different D-line, but when it comes to Dexter Lawrence,
Sexy
Brian
Dexy.
Burns, Sexy Dex, I want to see a dance. I want all that belly movement, all of that. Anyway, Abdul Carter, once you get into that NASCAR or the fake NASCAR set and they move you inside and they put Kayvon on the edge, can you embarrass that elite O-line that is the Detroit Lions? It's not going to be enough to win the game, but it's going to be enough to impress the fans to say, we're confident in the talent that we have. We can build on this. Let's build.
Well, Luna's a son of a gun because he just took like 3 different matchups I was thinking about, specifically about my guy, Sexy Dexy.
That's why Jake always goes last. Well, he took mine, so now I got to come up with
I have a one in the back of my mind. But the big one I think I'm going to just highlight as well is obviously Jared Goff's play is going to be very important for this player's performance. But is Amon-Ra St. Brown going to be able to break free from these New York Giants cornerbacks? Because as much as I hate to admit it, Quinyon had him in Guantanamo Bay, and he was a non-factor in that game. Had drops, had miscues with Goff on the routes. And can Amon-Ra St. Brown, our best player on offense, apparently, although it might be Gibbs at this point, can he get through? Can he get it done? The other matchup that I'm most excited to see about. And this might get cut if this is no longer applicable. So just, you might need to cut it.
I'm editing it tonight.
Yeah, that's fine. So the matchup I'm most excited about is actually in the stands. All right, my friend, fellow season ticket holder, David. How's the matchup between him and my friend of the podcast, guest on our podcast, Luna, going to do? Because Luna is supposed to go to Sunday's game.
Oh, yeah?
No kidding.
Yeah, I'll be there.
So
nice. Tomorrow.
Is Luna and David, how's that matchup going to go?
Well,
a lot of trash
we can get the matchup between you and Luna.
Yeah. No.
There you go.
That's the halftime show right there. Forget who they got.
Smackdown right
now.
now.
Here's the thing. What you really want to see. What you really want to see is the matchup between David and Luna, because there's going to be a lot of trash talk. And here's the thing: if David even just mutters the word April Fools, David's getting slapped.
Yeah.
So
here we go. So forget the drum line out in the street before the game. This is where it's all going to take place.
You gotta
Smackdown. Let's go.
Here's the thing: you got to understand with Luna and I, we embody the Flint Tropics motto of everybody love everybody.
Yeah.
We're just a bunch of teddy bears. Him and David, that's the matchup you want to see. They're the ones who antagonize each other. I could pull up receipts on the group chat. Luna knows what I'm talking about. Luna's not safe. He's never safe from David.
My if you look at my phone and the text messages that I've received from David, they're not shareable.
They're not shareable. I could go to my messages and I'll be like, man, I miss you, Luna. I love you, buddy. And then there's David saying some ungodly crap. But that is my two matchups.
Honestly, song that plays a lot that David makes sure I know every word to. Every time it comes on, it happens at Lions games a lot. Yeah. I will not share that song, but it brings me misery.
Yeah. I mean, Eagles fan Zach loves the Lions touchdown song, so he sings it. He sung.
Oh, we got some few Lions fans that think it's a little outdated, but I still say the worst is the bear down. That one just
bear down on the toilet.
Yeah, exactly.
Although we can't really say too much at the moment because they're currently ahead of the Lions in the
fake,
right? But yeah, so no, those are my two matchups. Pretty important one in St. Brown against the DBs. Can he right the ship? Can he be
or just about catching the ball? Just
catch the ball. Yeah. And then more importantly, what's that matchup between David and Luna in the stands going to be like? Because I won't be sitting with them, but man, I know that it's going to be a fun one. It is going to be a fun one.
Now, in regards to St. Brown too, I did hear something about that wrist might be.
Yeah. Ooh, sounds like an excuse.
I know.
Drink a Coke. Drink a Coke, right. Amon-Ra. Damn. Do a calf raise. Luna, when's the last time you saw Kevin? When's the last time you've seen Kevin Durant do a calf raise?
I'm not.
Yeah. All right.
Jake, real close and personal friends with Amon-Ra's dad.
Yeah, I did almost physically run into him, which I would have bounced off him and fell on the ground, probably broke my arm outside the team store.
He's a bodybuilder, Jake. You have problems with me.
I know. That's because I'm a pacifist, my guy. Dang, man. We are now going to get into the last couple weeks, probably my favorite segment, a little less so. We are going into Jake's lock click of the game. Lyle, will you unfortunately give us a recap of what happened this past week?
Yeah, so Jake, who was riding mighty high, placing bets on his own supply and things like that. Last week he bet on a David Montgomery anytime touchdown in the Philadelphia game. And that unfortunately did not come through, which breaks a 5-game winning streak for the lock of the week.
4-game first.
So the lock is open for the first time in over a month.
It is true, but you'd still be a plus money if you were betting all my locks. However,
saying double down.
That's right. On the season, by the way, 6 for 10. So even over the season, you're still over 50% on your lock.
Exactly. And so here's what I'm going to enjoy. So when we're looking at,
actually, it's 6 for 11.
So we're going to be looking at this game, right? And it sounds like a right time to get to kind of correct the ship. Little fun fact: if you go on to FanDuel or your sports book, in order, the top 4 most likely to score players in this game, all from the Detroit Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs at -310, St. Brown -130, Montgomery +100, and Jameson Williams +155. Devin Singletary, great waiver wire pickup by myself in my fantasy league in a pretty poor season I'm having, +200. But if you scroll down a little far, there's an X factor in this game. There's a player in this game, very famously has had a season where he threw for 30 touchdowns, 30-plus touchdowns, and 30-plus interceptions. And, the Legion of Whom smells blood in the water. And I'm going to say we're going to see a Detroit Lions defensive touchdown in this game. You get at 6 plus 650. I'm going to say it's either going to be a scoop and score, pick 6. I would assume pick 6. But you are going to see a Detroit Lions defensive touchdown. You can get at plus 650. First touchdown's ungodly. I'm not even going to say that. It's not worth it. But I am going to say Detroit Lions get a defensive touchdown. That is my lock of the game this week.
Nice.
Should we go safe and get back on the track? Nah, we double down. We go bigger. We go better. Detroit Lions defense.
We go
coming off
almost right into the next segment, too.
Lock it up.
Not quite the next segment. We're close.
Yeah. So, Luna, how do you feel about my lock of the game? Detroit Lions defense at plus 650.
I would have took an interception or a turnover, but
we go big, baby. We do it for our 24 subscribers, all right?
That's right.
We are in week
down
12,
for the
so
dozens.
we're
Let's
that
go.
far down the crazy train.
That is true. So that was Jake's lock of the game. Detroit Lions defense.
I'm going to call the Looney Bin after this.
All right.
Wait for Steve's crazy play of the game.
Lock me up. You're not even ready for what my dad's about to say.
I'm not ready.
Oh, man. I never am. So now we're going to get into our score predictions for the game. We have, obviously, the Detroit Lions hosting the New York Giants this upcoming Sunday. And we did not do very good on our scores of the game last week. The only person who predicted right, unfortunately, was the lone Philadelphia Eagles fan on the podcast, Zach. Even then, score was not that close. Or was it?
No, we had... I'm on the wrong page here. Yeah, we had Philly. Zach had 21-17 Eagles. Not a bad pick, and everything considered. Josh, you had 2-0 Lions. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot more than that.
Yeah.
I had 24-20. Jake, you had 27-24. Brad had 28-17. All Lions there.
Yeah, a bunch of homers here. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go down the list. We're going to start with you, Cousin Lyle. What is your score prediction for this upcoming game against the New York Giants?
Yeah, so again, I kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier. This is a game where I think that the Lions are going to play with some urgency. They know what to do on coming back home. Tough loss. They've got some things to clean up. I think they're practicing with that urgency. They're going to play with that urgency. I think they're going to jump out pretty quickly on this one. Hopefully cruise to a pretty comfortable victory. Right now I'm calling it 33-17 Detroit Lions.
All right. Brother Josh, we're not a cult.
Okay, so inspired by our guest getting a cheeseburger while we're on the line here, I'm going to go for the Waymo Burger prediction again. I'm bringing it back. So we're going to go 52-14.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's as long as it's over 50. I'm not doing the math past 50.
Yeah. So, Luna, the backstory to that is obviously I'm sure you're aware of Jamo Williams' crazy eating habits as well as his willingness choosing to put a part of a McFlurry on a double cheeseburger at McDonald's. Josh wants to try it, but we are only doing it, and I will be providing them if the Lions drop a 50 burger because I forgot after the Bears game. So for some reason, he just wants it. I know where he works. He works not that far from the McDonald's. He could just do it himself, but
I know, but it's about the clicks.
It's the satisfaction that you delivered it.
That's true. That is true. Yeah,
that is
part
part
true.
of it.
So, Luna, Giants fan, what do you think of the score of this upcoming game is going to be? Are you going to pick your Giants? Are you going to pick the Lions?
I can't say 52. I want to see some more touchdowns with lack of talent, so I'm going to say the Giants are probably going to put up 17. And then I'm not confident that they're going to win, but it's going to be embarrassing to a little extent. So I'm going to say 17-21 Lions.
21-17 Lions.
Okay.
That's too close for comfort for me, but I mean, a win's a win, I guess.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, what you got?
I think I like Jameis Winston. Jesus, there's too many James somethings on there. I think Jameis Winston's going to throw a bomb. He's going to throw a dot sometime early in the game. But I think the Lions defense is going to correct itself. I'm expecting 31-13 Detroit Lions victory.
All right.
I'm
Lions
so mad I
across
got
the
to
board.
say the Giants are going to lose.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Luna?
He's mad.
I'm so mad I got to say the Giants are going to lose because it's like the Giants are a very well-respected organization. We have a history of excellence. Over 101 years of history with 8 championships, either NFL or Super Bowls, built on the pillars of defensive excellence, putting out coaches like Vince Lombardi, Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick, Sean Payton on the offensive side, all part of the Giants coaching tree. And we have to go out there and look like I'm embarrassed to play every week. It is disgusting. I'm sorry.
You guys actually beat the Portsmouth Spartans at some point. We're going way back.
I will say, to give the New York Giants credit, although they're missing most of the guys from that offense, or at least a good portion of them, they did beat the absolute brakes out of the Philadelphia Eagles earlier in the season. I know I lost money on that game. I was expecting the Eagles to come out and smack them, and I know Philly Zach was very angry with that game, but they did absolutely do something the Lions did not do this season and beat the crap out of the Eagles.
What the Giants are fraud detectives. We're going to tell you who you are at the end of the day. The Eagles, you came out looking fraudulent. We're going to tell you who you are. The Chargers, you came out looking fraudulent. We're going to tell you who you are. But then when we get put on fraud detection, the Saints beat us. So
that was rough.
I would actually beware if I was a Lions fan of a trap game. Because if you guys are not dominant in your own division right now and you have a easier schedule than the Bears, fraud detection.
Yeah, and that is a fair point. The Lions have lost some games they shouldn't have not lost this season, specifically that Vikings game.
That was the
especially.
one.
That was the big one they shouldn't have lost. But yeah, so you are right. I think this does smell like a trap game. The only reason why I don't think this necessarily smells like a trap game is the Lions are coming off of a loss, a pretty disappointing loss. They obviously were not smacked around in terms of like they didn't get destroyed, but it was just a very poor performing, disappointing game. But they get to play at home in front of the home crowd. They're angry, they're hungry. They once again have not lost since 2022, back-to-back games in the same season. So we are going to see what happens, and I cannot wait to see my friend Luna's face. Just in general,
Got you.
I love the guy.
Can I switch my pick? I'm going to go fraud detection, trap game. Y'all going to be focused on Thanksgiving and some turkeys that you're going to have a great comeback game from. But you're going to lose this one 24-21.
Hell yeah, Luna. There we go. I like it. I
think I can almost feel how much better he feels just saying that out loud now.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I respect you for riding for your team.
Let's go.
And, at the end of the day, they put up, 44 on the Eagles? Scatabo had 4 touchdowns. Something crazy like that.
And the brick
They
wall.
put up some points. It's those fourth quarters that really got them.
Yeah. And Jameis, you never know. Jameis is going to throw 500 yards. But all right, now, Luna, if you're ready for the real craziness, we're going to call over to the podcast. My father, Josh's father, Crazy Play Steve himself, as we go into Steve's Crazy Play of the Week.
Steve's gonna blow your mind away.
Alrighty, so we are back with my dad, Josh's dad, Crazy Play Steve himself. Dad, Luna's on the phone.
How you doing, Luna?
I'm doing well, Mr. Takashi.
Hey,
it's always great talking to the patriarch of a great family.
Thank you.
So good to hear from you.
Well, I'll tell you what. I want all the world to know that you were one of the nicest friends at Central Michigan. Helped Jake out many times. Mm-hmm. And we were really appreciative of that, and we enjoyed whenever we were with you.
It was done out of love.
That's lot of fun you are, and so Jake's very lucky, and we are too.
I don't know if you heard he's going to be at the game. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to buy him a drink or something.
Yeah.
I drink.
He does. He doesn't chug well though. He does not chug well.
Maybe the Giants make him drink, right?
The Airbnb up north knows.
Maybe a St. Brown bobblehead or something. I don't know.
Yeah. It's all good.
But anyways, you know that I'm Crazy Play Steve, so I don't always come with a crazy play, but my thinking is probably a little bit different than these experts that I'm sitting with. So
total experts.
I don't mind that
play
at all.
Play it on TV anyways.
Yeah, we're certified.
So, anyways,
I play doctor on TV, so
I'll just start out with a shout out to all the workers the Lions have. They have the best customer service I've ever seen. They really do. Everybody that works for them has given me tremendous service, and I hope their management recognizes that, because I'm not just picking one person out. I'm picking the whole lot of people. They know how to hire top customer service people. The Tigers should take note of that. I don't know about the Red Wings, or the Pistons.
I've had good experiences at Red Wings games. They're fun. Pistons are good too. They're good.
But the Lions are the best, so I want to shout out to them. I always like to give a shout out.
I can agree.
Okay. Now we go to the rough part for me.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Here we go.
Well,
you
Johnny,
know,
when
you think of the president or whatever you want to call him of the league, I still say it's a bogus league. You know, when you have a sensitive game with the Lions and the Eagles, where is he at? He's in Spain. He's hiding. He can't make the tough decisions.
Hopefully he can't call in and change the game, though.
And I don't know whether he's being influenced by, Vegas or these cities or the management or the fans or whatever.
What happens in the casino stays in the casino.
Yeah. I tell you, I think his name is Goodall or something.
Goodall.
Like that.
Goodell, yeah.
Goodell. Yeah. Look, you messed me up.
I would take the good out. I would take the good out and put poor in, or awful.
Purell.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Clean.
He cannot make a tough decision. And then on top of that, he turns around and goes after the Lions. The Lions are an interesting team that made of great men and doing great things. So the one thumbs down I give to Jamison Williams. Oh. What did he need to hug the goalposts for?
Everybody love everybody.
And he is football's Jean Moran.
I'm still saying that he would get a lot of top publicity if he just took the ball over, gave it to one of their people.
The refs.
Not the refs.
He wants the cheerleaders.
Well, I want the cheerleaders. Yeah. He would really
Everybody wants a cheerleader.
Everybody could use a cheerleader.
I want them.
Don't sing it, though. He hates that song. Don't say it.
I want them to spike the ball, the cheerleaders. And I've talked to them at their team camps about this, and they're all for it. They just got to get a hold of one of the players to get along with them. And then it'd be fun. Everybody would be wanting to score a touchdown just so they could give it to the cheerleader.
Yeah,
J-Mo, we know you're watching.
I don't think Chris and Goff would appreciate that. But
not the wives and girlfriends. They will have the problem.
Yeah, there'd be some mad wag going on right now.
I think J-Mo's a bachelor. He can do it.
Yeah, J-Mo's.
Yeah. And then I got a couple challenges out for the Lions. Come up with some plays that doesn't put Goff in the way where the guy can deflect his pass. Come up with
a
different
problem last week.
It was,
come up
Davis,
with some different plays because all the teams are going to want to do that.
And Goff back shoots the alley-oop.
The other
Carter's a big man.
The other thing, you look at Hutchinson's his stats. They need to get, if the real reason he's having a hard time with stats is he's double and triple teamed, figure out a way to so he's not double
clone
triple.
Hutchinson.
How about this?
Clone him.
2 edges on the same side.
I'm saying they could come up with something. They've been creative in the last few years. Come up with something. That's my challenges for them. And then my challenges for the Detroit front office. You take a look at their yearbook, and you see all these top-notch people that work for the Lions. Take them away from that responsibility and assign them to actually do a review of the game. You go back and do a review of the game and attach a video of what you play you're talking about. And because the league won't do it, the league lets them get away with anything they want. That's why I call it a bogus league. It's just that's the way it is. Even
it's the no fair league.
No fun, no
even
fair.
if the Lions win, you got guys like who was it that was complaining about the refs?
Mahomes.
No.
He's one of them.
No, I'm talking about the Washington coach. I think he came away saying the
Dan
Lions.
Quinn?
Yeah, Dan Quinn.
It might have been him. But anyways, so there's challenges for the coaching staff to help Goff, help Hutchinson, and then do what the league won't do, and that is do an analysis of these refs.
Well, actually, just real quick, they do review the game afterwards, but they send us a lovely apology letter saying, "Oops, we screwed up." That's what needs to be corrected.
And we talk at one game at a time. I'm talking with a whole lot.
Yeah.
And see the trend. And really, how many people have forgotten about the game with the Chiefs, where they didn't get one penalty.
Yeah. Well,
but it's like it moves on and you forget about it and all that. I don't want them to forget it. I want them to have that report ready and show exactly we did the analysis because the league won't do it. They continue to hire bogus refs.
Well, little known fact.
Paid off or
little
whatever.
known fact. If you rewatch the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark when they're carting what appears to be the Ark into a warehouse, that's actually all the apology letters from the NFL. That's what that warehouse.
Isn't it crazy that Indiana Jones had no influence in the outcome of that movie?
We don't recognize Indiana Jones.
Yeah. You're speaking of former Vanilla Vic, Danny Dimes, former New York Giant quarterback. Unfortunately, quarterback for
it all
the number
comes back
one
to
seed
the
in
Giants
the AFC.
somehow. We just came back to the G-Man here.
No, that was triggered.
He got triggered on that.
Not my intention, but great intention. All right, Dad. So you've talked about your challenges. Do you have your play?
I got the play.
All right.
It's a 2-part thing.
Is Luna going to go in and score a touchdown?
Pull off to the side of the road because you're going to need to be able to
I'm in the parking lot for
Okay.
You're going to say send him to the Looney house.
He already actually did for Jake.
Yeah, he already called me crazy. Some friend you are.
Anyways,
I'm kidding. I love you, man.
My play of the game is one of the Lions players is going to go over and give the ball to a cheerleader and let them spike it.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
And
This is the second time
it's
it's been
going to
brought up. It will
explode. And the Lions
The ball's going to explode? It's going to hurt someone?
No, this whole idea is going to explode. Crazy. And the other part of it, I'm going to be at the game kneeling and praying that the Lions take the ball first. Golf is better when he's ahead and not playing from behind. And Brad will disagree with me to no end, but I'm telling you, that's a better thing to do. So the play is a 2-parter. The distribution of the touchdown ball to a cheerleader and me on my knees at the game praying for us to take the ball first.
All right, so let me ask you, if the Giants win and they defer and the Lions get the ball first, is that just as good? Or do you really want the Lions to win the toss and take the ball because that makes the statement?
Yep.
That's the way you need it to happen? Okay.
All right.
I heard the Giants win.
What's that?
That's all I heard. I heard Giants win in his questions. That's all I heard.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you what. We
Giants win. I'll take it.
We had Jake's friend Zach on last week. We have you on this week. I'm thinking about, I go to trading card shows, and I have made friends with a guy from the Green Bay Packers. And I'm gonna see him tomorrow, I think.
That just makes me ill.
I know.
And I'm going to try to get him to come on because next year I think I'll be going to Green Bay and sit and watch a game with him.
Yeah, I need to bring him on next week.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving Day game.
That's right. So, anyways, I don't know if he's coming for the game, but anyways.
Missed opportunity.
So, anyways, Luna, you really make this effort special because you're with us and you give us your perspective and maybe some of these things we don't think about.
Definitely some good Giants insight this week.
Yeah. Anyways, it's always been a pleasure to talk to you, be around you.
Always.
What's that?
He said always.
Always.
Yeah. Good man.
All right. So that was crazy play Steve's game. Play the game. Oh my Lord.
Look for him on his knees in a section near you of 4 feet.
Yeah, they might do
praying for that coin toss to end up on the right side.
Mooney.
Hey.
Because the only way that's happening is if Jake's touchdown happens off the defense.
Well, you know Jake's mom. You met her.
Yes,
she used to be the talkative one. Not anymore. She says you can't shut crazy play Steve up.
That's right.
Yes.
Get it once right, and he just rolls with it.
All right.
But thanks for being with us. It's a real cool thing. So.
No problem.
All righty. I think I'm done.
Okay.
That sounds right. Yep. Let's end this thing.
Yeah. So
I digress.
All right. Thank you, One Pride, for joining us on episode 12 of going into week 12 of Outside the Den, Inside the Barn of the 2025 NFL season. Once again, my name is Jake. Next to me is cousin Lyle, Crazy Play Steve, my dad right there, big brother Josh right there, special guest Luna, Giants fan Luna on the phone, one of my best friends. Luna, thank you. Big Blue Lou. Oh, I like that. Let's go with that. Big Blue Lou. But yeah, Luna, thank you so much for joining us this week. I know you've been busy, working hard. You got tax season coming up. Just so you know, expect it on Saturday. We do have a little gift for you for appearing on the program. Would you like a branded flask, coffee mug, or a whiskey glass?
Also known as a water glass.
Or water glass. Oh, he's of age. He's older than me.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like I need a flask in my life.
All right. We'll get you a branded flask with some other fun stuff. But yeah, once again, thank you for coming up on the show, my friend. Any last things to say before we wrap up today's show?
Truly get better, John Mara. We need you to make good decisions.
Fire everybody. All right. Thank you once again, Lions fans. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Same time, same bat channel. Hopefully celebrating a Lions victory. Hopefully John Mara gets better so he can fire everybody. Thank you again, Luna. Thank you, fellas. We'll see you next week. We love you. Dad, sign us out.
Stay well, Luna, and have a good time at the game.
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
Welcome to Detroit.
E-love-E. Everybody love everybody. Good night, folks.
I was hoping you were going to go to me. I was going to start singing Forward Down the Field.
Luna.
Podcast over. Signing off tonight. Wyatt Intimation. Everything's alright. Tonight, Lions Nation, everything's alright.
The last thing I gave David as a gift was a vanilla cologne.
No, you son of a bitch. How could you? How could you? You son of a gun. I know David's a stinker, but he doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve that.
He told me to take it home. I was like, Maddie loves this.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Happy birthday, Maddie, friend of the show. She's not aware of the podcast, but happy birthday to her.